Happy Friday. I'm so excited. So I just got out of a podcast here a little bit ago, and we record every Friday. So every Friday I get to not focus on my business. So it's not necessarily like I'm focusing on how to help my clients, but my answers, I notice, tend to come back to like my business. Like I can focus everything on, reroute everything back to my business. And so as I'm chatting away, I think about, okay, how is the overall picture, the overall essence, the overall theme of what I'm talking about, who I'm talking to, like how is that message going out there? And one of the ways that I have found is in my funnels, and I'm going to bring it right back to funnels because I see everything in funnels. I speak in funnels. To me, everything is a funnel. You're getting people from point A to point B. You're talking in copy. Everybody knows copywriting. They just don't realize it. Every time you've ever gotten your own way is because you learned copy. You've learned how to talk to that person. That's the same thing what your funnels do for your products or your services is you learn how to communicate with the person that funnel or service, your funnel is going to impact the most, who it's going to help, pretty much. And so as I'm navigating these conversations, navigating these circumstances and situations, I think in my funnel, what would I do if this were a funnel? Right? I know it sounds crazy, and a lot of my thoughts and theories are kind of wild. They're kind of out there, but they make a lot of sense. At least to me, anyway. They might not to you. Oh, I don't know. Hopefully they will. But when you're talking about your funnel, it's... So like, say we're not talking about our funnel. Okay, say we're talking to someone and we want to get our way. Say we want to go spend, we're talking to our spouse and we want to spend $500 out of the account, right? $500 to some is not much, but to others, it's a lot of money. It could be used to pay bills. It could be used for family items. It could be used for vacation, whatever it is, right? So to spend $500, you've got to talk about it, right? You've got to convince the other person, your spouse or significant other, that they should let you spend this $500. Well, most, if you just say, hey, I'm going to spend $500, and be like, what? Why? What for? Like, how come you're going to spend that much money? Like, we don't have that much money. How can you justify spending this? You're taking money away from our kids. Like, we need food. We got bills. We got all this stuff. But if you come at it from a different perspective, a different format, the same as in your funnels, like in your funnels, you're not going to sit there and say, hey, buy my stuff, right? Because they're going to be like, no, why? Why do I need to buy your stuff? How's it going to benefit me? What's the purpose of it? Like, what's my investment? Like, what's my ROI? Like, all of those things. So it just doesn't quite make sense like that. But if you reframe it and you add in these sub elements, same as in your funnel, and these are things that I call like the backup, the wingman, whatever you want to term them as, but they help you make the sale, whether that's getting the $500 from your spouse or getting the person to do whatever it is in the funnel you want them to do, whether it's to sign up for your free thing, purchase your paid offer, or whatever it is, right? This is how you get them, is the backups, the wingmen, as I like to call. And the first wingman that you have in your arsenal of things is the design, okay? The design of your funnel is going to be like your mood, like your branding, like what emotions do you want them to feel coming in without having to say a word, right? Same as if you're talking to your spouse, you're not going to come in all angry and say, I want $500, right? They're going to be like, whoa, what's going on? Something's not right here. And they're going to, tell you to back away slowly, or they're going to back away slowly and be like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm fearing for my life right now. The same as with your funnel, like with your emotions in your funnel, the colors in your funnel give off specific emotions. So you have to be very aware of this and understand that whatever colors you put out there, it's going to elicit a specific emotion without you even knowing it. So knowing your colors, knowing your branding, all of that is a very, very key. It's not a make or break on a funnel. It's a helper for sure. The second one is your fonts. How are your words coming across? How are your, what's the font that they're in? Because fonts hold weight, and there's different weights of fonts. And just like your words, when you're talking, if you have heavy emphasis on specific words, it's going to come across a lot differently than if you let it all kind of flowy and you just talk really smooth and just let it sail out, right? Those have very different vibes when you say them. It's the same thing in your funnel. When you're in your funnel and you have a scripty font, but you're trying to be super serious, they clash, right? Because the scripty font is more of a, not necessarily like serious, if that makes sense. It's more of a, it depends upon the script font now, but it's more of a flowy, more of a feminine vibe to it, more of a, not necessarily, I'm going to tell you something point blank. I don't know, it's got a different vibe to it. Whereas if you use a bolded font, let me think of one off the top of my head. I should have had this one mopped up, but I didn't, part of life. And if you have, say, a font that's a sans serif font, which means it doesn't have the little wing tips on the ends, then it's a bolded one. So, Times New Roman is a sans serif font. You can bold it. You can make it have a heavier weight to it. I use, gosh dang it, why can't I think of the name of it? I think it's Fajala. It's probably Fahoya or something like that. I don't even really remember. But it's a very, very bold font. I use it a lot in my headlines because I want to gather attention. I want to zoom your eyes in on what I'm saying. So like when you're going to your special, you're like, hey, that would be like kind of a bolded font. Like, hey, pay attention. I'm talking to you. Or look here, I have something I want to tell you. Now, if you use, I think there's one called the Joker, and it's got like dots on it, and it's really fun. It's really like non-serious. It's like playful. That would not be like if you're selling in a bank, you're not going to have on a bank website or on a bank funnel, you're not going to have the Joker font on there because it doesn't fit. It gives off the wrong connotation for that bank. So now that I've beat that one for like ever, if you understand that one's it's just a backup one. It's not a make or break. You just want a font that's going to convey the emotion that you want them to feel in there. So if you want them to feel secure, you want them to feel heard, you want them to feel these different emotions, you're not really going to have a lot of scripty fonts in there. You're going to have just basic fonts that they can read and see. And that's like the main things, is making sure that they can read the words on the page. Because you're not going to go in and ask for 5 minutes. They'll be like, what? Like, what? Like, talk again. So it's the same within your funnels. Just make your fonts bigger, make them so that they can read them in the funnel, and make them just plain. They just need to be a plain font. Just talk to them. And the number 3 one is your colors. I alluded to this one a lot, like with the emotions. Colors have emotions. And in your design, like where you place things, like you're not going to just place them all willy-nilly. You don't want to give away, like when you're talking to your significant other about like getting the $500 or whatever, you're not going to go in and say, hey, give me $500. They're going to be like, well, hey to you too. Like, and this is the extent of our communication these days? No, they're gonna look at you like you're freaking crazy. So when you go in there, you're gonna like have a smile on your face. Not that you want to butter them up, but you kind of are. with your body language, with your tone of voice, with the look on your face. Like all of these things play into your favor without you even realizing it. The same goes with your funnel. Your funnel itself, your design, where the placement of things are on the page, the fonts, like what fonts are you choosing to use? Are they playful? Are they sturdy? Are they serious? Are they bold? Like, what are the font choices that you're using? And what are the colors? Because colors, again, they play a huge role. So if you want to go for something that's, say, sturdy, they've been around for a long while, usually it's a blue. If you notice, most banks have blue in their logos. It's been researched. Like, there's different connotations for yellow and red, which is McDonald's. Arby's has red. Fast foods have red. So just, these aren't make or breaks. These are just helpers for your funnel. They're helpers in life. They're helpers in everything that you want. When you learn how to put them together and make them work for you, that's when you see the massive return on your funnels. So, hope that helps you. Again, this is talking about your design, your fonts, and your colors being your wingmen to sealing the deal. Have a great Friday.